Live from the KHOU 11 studios and streaming on KHOU 11 Plus, your news starts now. Thanks for joining us for this digital newscast. I'm Marcelino Benito. We're streaming live now on KHOU 11 Plus. Tonight, Harris County deputies are investigating after a shooting in a warehouse they say was being used as an unlicensed after-hours bar left one person dead and several others injured. It happened early this morning in North Harris County on Mitchell Road near Airline Drive. Our Michelle Choi explains.
This morning, Harris County Sheriff's investigators shared it could take some time before they would be able to piece together what exactly led up to a deadly shooting at this warehouse on Mitchell Road.
This is a unlicensed after-hours bar, and this occurred after 4 a.m. this morning. So, again, it's going to be probably a couple of days before we have a clear picture of exactly what happened.
Investigators believe some kind of fight broke out inside and shots were fired. They say 3 people were injured. 2 were grazed by a bullet, and the third, a man, was severely beaten. All of them were taken to a hospital by ambulance and are expected to be okay. A 4th person who'd been shot, deputies later learned, was driven to a hospital where he died. Sergeant Bell says the business, which deputies on scene told us was known as Diablo, was closed by the time they arrived, adding to the challenge.
All of the employees, including the 2 people that were working as security guards, left the business prior to the arrival of law enforcement.
He says a trail of blood led deputies to the warehouse, which is located in a commercial business complex.
Because of the amount of blood in the parking lot, they had fire department check by. They forced entry to the front door.
Bell says no one else was found inside. We're told several witnesses were also detained at the scene in question, but no one is under arrest at this time. It's also still unclear who the shooter is and what the altercation was about. In North Harris County, Michelle Choi, KHOU 11 News.
New overnight, Houston police are investigating a deadly crash involving a wrong-way driver. This happened around midnight near the intersection of Reed Road and Scott Street in South Houston. Police say a woman was driving in the wrong direction on Reed Road and lost control behind the wheel. She then hit a speed limit sign, veered off-road, and crashed into a tree. She was taken to the hospital where she later died. The investigation is still ongoing. Tonight, one man is dead and another is seriously injured following what investigators are calling a drug deal gone wrong. This happened last night around 11 on Jordan Heights Drive, that's east of the East Tex Freeway. Now, police tell us both people involved pulled a gun and shot each other. One of the men was pronounced dead at the scene while the other was taken to a hospital. Officers say everyone involved was accounted for. However, it's still not clear how many people were actually involved. Tonight, the Harris County Sheriff's Office is asking anyone with information about the death of 17-year-old Giovanni Cruz to come forward. Deputies say they found his body yesterday morning in the backyard of a home on Galleon Field Lane that's in West Harris County. Neighbors reported hearing gunshots in the neighborhood Friday night, but deputies say they couldn't find any evidence at the time. An investigation later determined Cruz died from a gunshot wound to the torso. If you know anything, call Crime Stoppers. Turning now to a couple of other top stories we're following for you this evening. DPS has now identified the man who was shot and killed after driving into the Killeen Mall and running over several people. Authorities say 53-year-old John Darrell Schultz of Kempner, Texas, refused to pull over for a DPS trooper in Belton on Saturday night. Police say Schultz kept driving and ultimately drove into the mall parking lot and then through the front doors of the JCPenney. 4 people were taken to the hospital with injuries ranging from severe to minor. Another person got themselves to the hospital. DPS troopers, Killeen Police, and at least 3 other agencies apparently shot at that suspect, killing him. Now, according to Texas court records, Schultz was previously charged with driving while intoxicated in 2022. This investigation is still ongoing. In Germany now, the community of Magdeburg is still in shock and recovering after a car drove into a Christmas market Friday night, injuring over 200 people and killing 5. Officials say the suspect is a 50-year-old man from Saudi Arabia who is a permanent resident of Germany. Today, that suspect made his first appearance in a German court where the judge ordered him into pretrial detention as this investigation continues. At this time, a motive for the attack has yet to be determined. The House Ethics Committee report on former Representative Matt Gaetz is expected to be released on Monday. Now, that's according to at least 2 sources. It comes after a House panel voted earlier this month to release the report after the final House voting day of the year. The probe looked into allegations of drug use and sexual misconduct involving a minor. Gaetz resigned from Congress after he was nominated by President-elect Trump to be U.S. Attorney General. But after mounting pressure from senators, he withdrew his name from consideration. Gaetz denies all allegations. Turning now to the latest on Texans wide receiver Tank Dell. In a press conference today, Coach D'Amico Ryan says Dell is on his way now back to Houston after spending the night at a Kansas City hospital following a serious knee injury in yesterday's game against the Chiefs. Now, according to NFL Network's Ian Rappaport, the second-year receiver suffered a dislocated kneecap and is out indefinitely. However, Ryans hasn't confirmed that's the case. At this time, Dell is talking to doctors and evaluating his next steps. We'll have more on his recovery coming up tonight on Sports Extra. All right, shifting gears over to weather now with a live look over Galveston Island on this cool Sunday evening. Meteorologist Kim Castro is in for Pat Cavlin again tonight. And Kim, we've been talking about storms Christmas Eve. Time those out for us.
Yeah, we do have a time frame that I want you to pay particular attention to now. 8 p.m. to 2 a.m. I know this spills over into a few hours during Christmas Day, but it's really to and from our Christmas Eve plans that I'm most concerned with. We are going to see showers and storms, so I want you to stay close to the forecast, monitor for any alerts that might pop up during that window. The threat for severe weather is the lowest. It's a 1 on the 1 to 5 scale. But, it's not completely out of the question that we could see a few storms that produce some isolated hail and some stronger wind gusts. How about the rain potential? Most of us will see manageable rain totals, 1 to 2 inches. A couple of areas could see more than 3, and those are the areas that are highlighted there in green. So there is a marginal risk for some localized street flooding, some high water spots. This is going to be north of downtown, so think the Woodlands traveling up to Conroe, including Huntsville and Livingston. So why are things switching up so suddenly? High pressure, which has been sitting on top of us, is now shifting towards the east, and now we're starting to see the flow of the Gulf moving back into Houston. You'll notice now we're starting to see, instead of the brown dry air over Texas, we're starting to see that green humid air mass. That's an ingredient for storms. The next ingredient is a front, which we do have moving into the area. So tomorrow we still have just high pressure moving towards the east, and that is going to make for a day that is warm, and it's going to make it for a day that has some increasing cloud cover, but no disruptive weather in terms of shower activity. We have to have a front for that, and here it comes, Christmas Eve. So I'll stop the clock there right at 8, which is the time frame I wanted you to start watching the forecast closely. Our northern cities and counties starting to see that swath of showers and storms pushing towards downtown around midnight. And then a few hours after that, it is offshore. So most of this activity is going to happen late Christmas Eve. And so start tailoring your plans accordingly. Maybe if you have an early Christmas Eve dinner, you can go ahead and come back home. If you typically celebrate late with relatives, maybe see if you can spend the night just so you don't have to deal with those storms. It's always a little bit dangerous to travel in any kind of wet weather. I'm not expecting these storms to be the too severe side, but still any threat is something that I want you to be conscientious of. 61 degrees right now at Bush Intercontinental Airport, so we are warmer than yesterday, up by 3 degrees, and the dew points are starting to climb. That's that warmth settling in. For the majority of the day, though, it was just perfect. The high temperature, very close to its average for this time of year. The morning low, cold. 37 degrees, 45 is normal. How cold did it get in your neighborhood? Well, if you live in Conroe, you also made it down to 37. Tomball, 37, 39. If you're waking up in Sugar Land this evening, and tomorrow morning will not be nearly as chilly. Remember the evening forecast yesterday? We had us in the 40s already by 10 p.m. By 10 p.m. tonight, we'll only be in the mid-50s. And then overnight temperatures are only going to dip down into the low 50s. 51 degrees for Houston. Conroe makes it down to 48. The northern cities and counties are the exception that breach the 40s, but the majority of us in the 50s, even 63 for Galveston Island, so certainly not as cold. The next 3 days, the high temperatures are considerably warmer, 70s, and notice Tuesday is in red, and it's not because it's festive, it's because it is a weather impact alert day. That is going to be something that I want you to keep in the back of your mind when you're making your travel plans. The first part of Tuesday is A-OK, all the way up until I'd say 6 or 7 o'clock in the evening. By 8, that's when the sky is going to light up with storms, thunderstorms with lightning and that sort of thing. It's not going to be pleasant to be out and about. Wednesday, Christmas and the start of Hanukkah only features a 20% chance for some showers in the morning, and that is it. Thursday, we'll start to see another front rolling in, and that's going to be another day that you watch for some showers, and then after that, it'll be Saturday. So we staggered the rain chances. Tuesday, skipping showers mostly for Wednesday. Thursday, another showery day, skipping showers mostly for Friday, and then Saturday, another showery day. Carry your umbrella is the bottom line, Marcelino.
It's a busy travel weekend with Christmas and Hanukkah just a few days away now, and AAA predicts record-breaking holiday travel, and today will bring the worst traffic in many areas. CBS News' Christian Benavidez reports from West Palm Beach, Florida.
Check-in counters at LAX were bustling with travelers Sunday, some trying to make connecting flights to get away for the holidays. Michael Jackman from Toronto is planning to escape the cold for the surf and sand of Hawaii.
First off, our bags got sent here instead of straight to Lahui, so we have to now go over to the customer assistance to get new bags. I can't find it in the system.
Airports in the D.C. area, Boston, and other cities across the nation are seeing a steady stream of travelers. AAA projects more than 119 million people will travel 50 miles or more from home over the holiday period, starting this weekend through New Year's Day. That narrowly tops the record set in 2019.
Here in West Palm Beach, Florida, the temperatures hit the low 70s, but travelers in other parts of the country are dealing with the extreme cold.
Snow and frigid weather mean treacherous driving in parts of the Midwest and Northeast, and it's also been delaying flights.
We left our house around like 9 exactly, and so it was supposed to be like a 30-minute trip, but it turned into an hour.
AAA expects Sunday will be the busiest day on the roads as the East Coast is hit with an Arctic blast.
Nevertheless, in New York City, some people braved the elements in Central Park over the weekend, where the temperature dipped into the teens. Christian Benavidez, CBS News, West Palm Beach, Florida.
And a reminder for anyone traveling this week, you can stay up to date on the lines at TSA, your flight status, any cancellations, and a whole lot more by texting the keyword travel to 713-526-1111. This Christmas, Santa Claus, Beyonce, and now Pentatonix are all coming to town. The Grammy Award-winning vocal group will perform the national anthem at NRG ahead of the Christmas Day Texans versus Ravens game. And of course, Houston's own Beyonce is set to take the stage for the highly anticipated halftime performance. Right now, tickets are still up for grabs for the Texans-Ravens game. That's if you're willing to spend a couple $100. On Ticketmaster's website, prices are as low as $190 to sit in the upper levels. But if you're wanting to get up close for Beyonce, it'll cost you about $600 and up. Now, the game is streaming on Netflix, but we want to remind you, KHOU 11 is the place to be for a Cowboy Carter Christmas. We're the only local station airing the Texans versus Ravens game on Christmas Day. And this does include Beyonce's performance, which is slated to be 9 minutes long. The game will be at NRG. Kickoff is for 3:30. I don't know what people are more excited for, the game or Beyonce. I'm going to go with Beyonce.
Both of them.
Yeah.
They give me chills, and I don't even know what. Yeah.
But
both will be a spectacle to enjoy
and
for
you
sure.
can watch it right here.
On it.
That's it for now, but we'll have a lot more tonight. Enjoy your evening. We'll see you back here on TV at 10.